Alright, what's up you guys? So on the last problem we just did, uh counter controlled repetition. So we found the average of 10 students. But let's say for example if one of the kids decides to play hooky and there's only like 6 kids and our teacher doesn't know how to find the average of like 6 students or like varying number of students, then we're gonna use a sentinel controlled repetition. So basically we're gonna tell when we input our grades, we're gonna tell when to stop and find the average of the number of grades we input. So here we go, let's get started. Just tell you all this stuff. So yeah, basically we want to initialize the total to 0, the counter to 0. We want to input the grade, and we keep inputting the grade until the user or on the prompt tells us to stop, and then that's when we do the average. So we're gonna add the grade to the total, blah blah blah, add 1 to the grade counter, blah blah blah, and then if the counter is not equal to 0, we set the average, then we print the average. So let's just write the program to see how it works. So first things first, we just put int main to start the function, and then we give let me just clean this up first. So we want to have a variable called counter, a variable called grade, forget the semicolons, and a variable called total. And for an average, we want to set float average. The reason we use float is because float holds decimal numbers, so these are only whole numbers. So for float, the average can be decimal number. So that's basically what float is. But let's set our total to 0, equal to 0. And let's set our counter equal to 0. So basically this initializes the total and the loop counter. So basically it starts to 0, but let's print f for the user to see. Enter grade and -1 to n. So basically we're gonna ask the user to enter -1 when they want to end the program and find the average of the total number he entered, total quizzes or students grades he entered. And we're gonna store this scan f. I'm gonna scan the screen and we're gonna store it in the ampersand grade. We're gonna start in grade, you guys. Alright, so we're gonna keep looping while the sentinel value has not been read. So if the -1 has not been read yet, we're gonna do a while loop. When grade is not equal to 1, or yeah, whoops, meant -1 because that's what we said in the prompt. But so when grade is not equal to 1, we're gonna keep looping. So we're gonna do a counter. Our counter We're gonna keep adding, so this does it +1 each time. Or actually, this is not the +1. This is the sum. And here's the counter. Counter +1. +1. Alright. And next, we're gonna print f. Enter grade, -1 to n. So same thing. We're gonna do the same thing. So let's just copy this. Where's my copy? So Control C, Control V. Oh my god. And there you go. And then we're gonna end the while. And then we're gonna do an if statement. If counter is not equal to 0, so basically this is saying if the user enters at least 1 grade, we're gonna do this. Hold on. So if counter equals, if it's not equal to, we're gonna find the average. Average is equal to float total divided by counter. So we do this to avoid truncation. And yeah. Alright, so the next line we're gonna do, we're gonna print. So this calculates the class average, but now we're gonna print the class average. Class average is percent .2f backslash average. Alright, you guys. So basically, we use f because average is a float. Average is a float. So instead of %d, we use f. And since this is a decimal number, we use 0.2 or any point number if you want to use 2 digits of precision. So like after the decimal, if you want to use like 3 decimals, because you know how numbers, if we do like 2 divided by 3, it's gonna be like 0.6666666 or whatever. So if you guys want to round it, just do this 0.2, so it'll be 0.67. So that's what, basically that's what this means right here. So if our counter is not equal to 0, we can use an else statement. Else and printf. So if the user doesn't enter anything at all, we're gonna print this: no grades were entered, backslash n. And then we're basically done, and we can just add return 0. Alright, so let's build and run to see how this works. Come on, okay. So here's an example. So let's say like there's 2 kids who are like, I don't know, they're like badass. They don't want to go to class. So we can do 75, 94, 97, 88, 70, 64, 83, 89, and then we're gonna enter -1 to end it. And here we go, the class average is 82.50 of 8 students and their scores. And there you go.